Are we live? Are we live right now? I think we are live. What's up, guys? I just thought I would go live for you today. I got some time, so I thought, why not just do a live? I'm just going to wait for more people to come in. I'm just going to wait. no one's going to No one's going to come in. It doesn't matter. I'm just going to talk about I got a cup of tea here, and I'm just going to do the one cup of tea, okay? Stay with you for the one drink. Now, I'm going to talk about a couple of things. I'm still doing the cutting sugar thing. I believe today is like day, let me see what it is 22, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Today is day 28 of cutting sugar. And you know what? I got to say, it's not that bad. Like, it hasn't been that bad, in all honesty. I'm trying to change the background. Is there any way I can change the background here? I don't know how to do it, but you're just gonna have to deal with it. You're just gonna have to live with it, okay? I don't know how to do it. So, yeah, the sugars. So today's day 28. I don't think I will be posting updates and stuff anymore because I think I've turned a corner. And it's not really difficult for me anymore to keep it below 35. Each day I've just been doing like 10 or less even. I will say today I went to a brunch. I went to a Mother's Day brunch because I'm gay. A Mother's Day brunch. That's when gay people go to brunch with their moms. So I went to brunch and I had a number of sugary things. So I would not be surprised if today I went either slightly below or above the 35 range, but I got pretty close to it. So I don't know. That's really, that's all I did that was bad today. That's all I did that was bad today. I mean, in the past little while. But the reason why I don't want to talk about the sugar thing anymore is because I don't think it's a challenge for me anymore. I'm not challenged anymore. I'm no longer mentally challenged. I mean, I still am in some other ways, if you catch my drift. But yeah, I think the cravings are gone. I'm not, I don't feel shaky because I'm not having, a dessert like a loser. But that's it. The other day I had that butter tart mishap. That was it. And today I went to the gay people brunch and that was it. I had a couple of things like, pancakes with maple syrup and there was this like delightful jam. But that's it. The sugars, I have pretty much conquered my sugar addiction. And yeah, moving forward, I don't think I'm going to be talking about it anymore. Today's day 28. Maybe I'll post a video in which I wrap up the journey, the 1 month journey. I'll talk about what it was like to go from 9 million grams of sugar a day to like 10. Actually, I can talk about it a little bit now. I feel like a lot of the inflammation I had is like gone. The inflammation. And by that, I mean like, you get like itchy skin. You just feel like, I don't know, there's like a low level of, from what I've been reading and, educating myself about, there's like a there's a low murmur of stress that happens when you are when your intake of sugar is like that bad consistently, what happens is there's a low murmur of stress in your day-to-day life that you don't really know is there because you just get normal, like you just get like immune to the feeling. Not immune, but you know what I'm trying to say here. It's like it becomes normalized to you. Like you have normalized feeling stressful and shitty and just exhausted all the time and just feeling bad constantly. You just think it's normal. And that's what it was like. Now I can see the difference because I've like come off the sugars a little bit. Now I see what people are talking about. Before I used to just be like used to watch YouTube videos of doctors like sugar causes inflammation and I would just like watch it like I would quit like for like 3 days or something like that and I'd be like, "Nah, they're making this up, man. They just don't want me to have a good time, you know?" But the fact of the matter is I wouldn't say the difference is night and day, but I'd say there's like a 70% difference. It's not 100%, but there is a 70% difference between like, if I'm going over 35 grams of sugar every single day in my diet compared to, consistently having less than my liver can handle in one day. That's for those of you just tuning in. The reason why I'm choosing 35 grams of sugar is not for no reason. The reason is because I saw a doctor, shout out to Dr. Robert Lustig, who mentioned the liver cannot process more than 35 grams of sugar in a day. So what happens is, and might be very boring to you if you've been watching the whole journey, but I'm just going to repeat it because it is worth repeating. And every Larry Singleton video is someone's new Larry Singleton first time viewing experience. So what happens is you go over 35 grams of sugar and your liver can't process the shit and the garbage that you've just been putting in your system day in, day out. And what happens is your liver gets scarred, you get like damage, not to mention leaky gut. Your stomach, the lining of your stomach, the sugar burns holes through it. So you eat food and instead of digesting it and pooping it out, all the bacteria leaks through the holes in your stomach that the sugars have caused. Now I do feel a little bit better because the inflammation isn't there. This is this is what happens after like a month of not like just damaging your liver nonstop. So there's that. Um Moving ahead, I think I will keep this a regular part of my life. I actually do. I think I'm going to make this a regular part of my life. I don't think that what I was doing was good, and I think this is a lot better. And I will say the challenge, it gets easier over time. At first, the first week you're just like, this sucks and I'm bored. I think I mentioned in one of my videos, I was like, I'm really bored right now. I would really love to have a dessert after like every meal. Like I'd like to have 3 desserts. I'd like to have, no rules, no limits. That's the other thing, because the world is so dark and just like chaotic and grim these days. It's so easy to fall into like dark patterns and just bad behaviors. And I think that's what I was doing. Like for a while, I was just like, you only live once. Give me the dessert. I don't care if, I'm on a low level of inflammation my whole life. Who cares? Just give me the ice cream with a piece of pie. And I'm going to have that every single day. Don't care. But now I can see, once that initial addiction kind of wears off, I can see what I was doing. It wasn't appropriate. The nihilism of this world, you shouldn't let it change your values. You know what I'm saying? Just because, just because there's like 8 billionaires at the top and they're all deciding what's going to happen in the next 12 to 24 months and we're all cooked. No one can find a job. Dating market is trash. No one likes brown people. Life is difficult for me. Yada yada yada. Blah blah blah. Just because of all of those things, you cannot allow the nature of the world to compromise your integrity as a person. Because what's going to happen is it's going to make you shittier as a result. So what ends up happening is the world is just going to bring you down. You can't let that happen, bro. Just can't let that happen. That's partly why I'm doing these lives and why I started being more active on YouTube in the last like couple of months. I don't think it's good to suffer in silence. I think it's if you have poison in the brain, get it out. Share it with the world. Don't live in isolation. Do you know what happens in isolation? Dark thoughts, bad things. Do you know how we get school shooters? Because of isolation. Sunlight is the best disinfectant. Similarly, me talking to you on YouTube is it helps. I don't know how it helps. I don't think it helps me. I know, I mean, it does help me, but I'm trying to figure out what I was going to say. I don't think it helps um, the world, but it does help like a few good men. I'm always surprised. Like I talked to someone recently, they were like, "Hey, I was watching some of your YouTube videos recently. They were pretty good, and in one of your YouTube videos, you said this, this, and this, and it was something that I completely like forgot about." But it just goes to show you, at the end of the day, you do matter and you do make a difference. I think I made a video about this years ago. You do matter in the world, regardless of what the nihilism of how everything is trending these days, whatever happens, doesn't matter. I don't want to say you can't make a difference. I mean, sorry, I don't want to say you can definitely make a difference because at the end of the day, who can really make a difference anymore? You know, in order to truly make a difference, you would have to. It's like, when people donate to charity, I always think, like, why? I don't think you're going to make, like, if you donate $1 to charity, I don't think you're going to make a difference because the charity company takes, like, 70% of a fee. You got to pay the people running the charity. You got to do, money goes to this, that, and the other, taxes. And then at the end of the day, the starving, orphaned child who is supposed to get that full dollar gets like 10 cents. So I don't think, people can't really make that big of a difference. However, to completely contradict what I just said, it is true that, I mean, the 10 cents helps. The 10 cents is not going to change the world. But at the same time, that tiny little bit of effort will add up. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to say that you can't make a difference. But at the end of the day, you are the sum of all of your actions. So if you just fully give in to the nihilism, you're going to be, bad things are going to happen to you. So, what was I talking about? Why did I start talking about? Because I was talking about, oh yeah, making a difference and doing the YouTube videos. Yeah, that's why I started it. That's why I started being more active on this thing lately. Is I figure even if 2 people watch, right? Even if 1 person watches, that's still better than 0. That 10 cents to the orphan, it goes somewhere. That orphan will take that 10 cents and shove it up his ass. I was kidding. So enough about that. I want to talk about some other things, some other topics. I saw Mortal Kombat 2 the other day. I thought Mortal Kombat 1 sucked my balls and ass. Mortal Kombat 1, the 2021 Mortal Kombat, wasn't that good, but like I would describe it as like a fun movie to watch at home. But even by those standards, it wasn't that good. Like if I paid to see Mortal Kombat 1, I would have been severely disappointed. But I took it out from the library. I watched about 50 minutes of it and I I decided to go to sleep because I was really bored and I didn't like it. And then I tried watching the rest of it because I'm like, I took the DVD out from the library. I'm going to have to return this DVD eventually. I don't want to return something and not finish it, you know? This is why physical media is better than streaming because you can just stream 90 million things and they don't mean a single thing. So because I made the effort to go to the library and get this physical disc of Mortal Kombat 1, I decided to finish watching it, even though it's like, I'm not an idiot. I know that everyone doesn't like it. But you see, the thing is, with a bad movie, people are so afraid to say that they liked a bad movie. So I wanted to give it a chance. I wanted to be like, is it really as bad as everyone said that it is? Basically, everyone on Letterboxd that I care about, like anyone with an opinion that I care about, they all said that it wasn't good. So maybe I have like a sadomasochistic kind of vibe here. So I'm a glutton for punishment. So I decided to watch it, and it wasn't that good. People were right. Mortal Kombat 1 sucked. It felt like watching an 80s movie that like was not improved upon at all. Like a direct to VHS Chuck Norris 80s movie. That's what Mortal Kombat 1 felt like. I didn't like Kano. I didn't like the characters in Mortal Kombat 1. It was just like boring. And the CGI kind of took me out of it. And I just didn't like it. It felt like cold and sterile. It just felt like a cash grab. But the thing is, in fact, I didn't like Mortal Kombat 1 so bad that I almost wasn't about to go see Mortal Kombat 2. Like, I didn't like the first one so much that I was almost about to deprive myself of Mortal Kombat 2. But then I started reading online. People were like, I gotta say, I hated the first one and the second one was pretty good. It's a big improvement. So I went to go see the second one. And also, like, I finished the first one. I went all that way. I might as well see what happens. I had to see what happens in the Mortal Kombat universe. I say that as if it's like it's a nail biter. Mortal Kombat 1 and 2, they're nail biters. Who the hell knows what's going to happen? No one knows. It's just people beating each other up for like 2 hours. No one knows what's going to happen. A real cliffhanger of an ending. Yeah, I went to go see Mortal Kombat 2, and I have to admit, the people who said that the first one, I got the allergies today, bud. Springtime is here. So yeah, Mortal Kombat 2. The people were right, man. The people the people that got to see an early advanced screening, whatever. The second one, I will say, there's less Kano or whoever that guy is, And also, here's the thing: I never really followed the video games. The only character I knew, like I knew, was Sub Zero, and that's only because my cousin, we would always play this game, and he was like, "I want to be Sub Zero," and in my head, I would just think, "You know the names of the characters of this game? You're a loser, bro." But I never said it out loud because I didn't want to get in trouble from my parents or whoever, the family. But in my head, I was thinking, you know the name of Sub Zero? And not only that, but you are expressing a strong desire to play as that character over anyone else. Aren't they all the same? Isn't every video game character the exact same? That's my childlike thinking, right? So the only character I knew was Sub Zero. So you have to realize I'm going into this franchise with zero, little to no, close to zero excitement and knowledge. The only thing I knew is Sub Zero, and the music, the techno music, and the cool ass sound effects that Space Ghost Perp sampled the fatality, finish him. Those are iconic, great, just great world building sounds for a video game. I mean, there's a reason why this many years people are going to see the movies and stuff. It's because we all remember from being a kid, those sound effects were so cool, like finish him, fatality. So, Mortal Kombat 2, I will get into it. I thought I thought whoever made the sequel to this movie, they must have taken the criticism to heart, because it seemed like there was less bullshit. Like Kano in the first one is very annoying. I know he's supposed to be annoying to the other characters. In this one, they dialed him back a little bit. The action sequences are more they're more intense. It felt more intense. It felt like the reason why everyone went to go see Mortal Kombat 1 was action, and it didn't have enough of that. And Mortal Kombat 2, it felt like it delivered a bit more on that front. And the casting, there was this let me see what her name is. I looked it up before I started this. Adeline Rudolph. Okay? The actress who plays Kitana. I'm sounding like a real nerd, but I had to look it up before I started this. Adeline Rudolph, okay? Let me see. Kitana. She's a very attractive woman, Very good casting there. To me, this is how you could tell a movie is like, I mean, like not a movie, like a superhero or like a video game type of movie. This is how you could tell that it's like sort of good, is if you can enjoy the movie for other reasons, even though you're not a fan to begin with. And to me, I was watching the movie and I was like, even when I got bored, I was like, that's an attractive woman right there. Adeline Rudolph is a very attractive woman. And then I looked her up when I came home. Not for gooning purposes. I must confess, it was not for gooning purposes. It was just to read, I just wanted to read up on who is this person? I've never seen her in a movie. I was very intrigued because she had like an Olivia Munn type of vibe. There's something very interesting that happens when a member of the Caucasian race and a member of the Asian race come together and have children. The children that those two groups of people produce are astonishing. Because it's like, I don't know how to describe it. You get features from both parts. And the crazy thing is, it's like I'm not traditionally I don't have a fetish for Asian women like white guys. All white guys are obsessed with Asian women. I would bet my life savings that every single white guy on planet Earth realm, every single member of the Caucasian race, every single living male member of the Caucasian race who happens to be straight and a red-blooded American male is a fan of Asian women. And I would be willing to bet my life savings on this, okay? I've never met a white guy that doesn't have an Asian woman fetish. Now, the reason I say this is because I am not like this, okay? Brown guys have a white woman and blonde hair fetish. So the fact that I was impressed with the actress playing Kitana, I was surprised because I was like, I'm usually not a white guy with these interests. So I was watching her, I was like, she's an attractive woman, you know? Something about that mix, when they come together, when a white person and an Asian person have babies, wonderful things start to happen. Wonderful things. You get the best of both worlds, okay? You get those nice features, and you get, I don't want to get too descriptive here because it's going to start to be like I'm going to sound like some kind of eugenicist. The superior fair skin. But yeah, just wonderful things start to happen. You know what's funny? By the way, this is reminding me. Someone on I posted a video about Hitler. I posted a video about the fact that I thought Hitler got off too easy. And some like Nazi guy in the comments with like a green, the Nazi frog. Some guy posted, he called me poop skin because I'm brown, and I offended him because I was talking about his leader. Um yeah, I just thought that was funny. I mean, it's offensive, but I got to say racist people are very funny in certain amounts too. Like I was reading this there was a news article I was reading in which there was a crime that happened in Canada, and the people that did the crime were like Indian immigrants. And someone commented, the usual culprits, because like, there's all this racism in Canada now, and there's so much racism in Canada that you can't tell the bots from the like sincere racists. But some of it is funny, like some of it makes me laugh because it's like the usual culprits. They took an Indian sounding name. It's the reason why I liked it is because I was an English major. I really appreciated the wordplay of that. If you're going to be racist, try to have some clever wordplay. Culprits and culprit. Very good. Checkmate racists. I enjoyed that. I have to say I did enjoy that one. But how did I start talking about that? Oh, it's because of Mortal Kombat 2 and the Asian half Asian woman in it. Very attractive actress. I hope they put her in more stuff. She had a very Olivia Munn-ish screen presence. Like a movie star will have a quality that you're watching and for a fact, you're just like, that person has got it. This Adeline, what's her name again? I forgot. Adeline Rudolph. Yes, she's got it, dude. She's got it. If I was a wealthy, overweight, fat, portly Jewish movie producer in the 90s, I would be like, Adeline Rudolph, she's got it. If I was Harvey Weinstein in the 90s, she'd be one of those people I take under my wing, and I wouldn't try to assault because like there was always a group of actresses that Harvey Weinstein, even in his like hubris, he didn't assault these groups of people because he was like, we need them on the team. We can't have them squealing to the others. We need to have them on the team. We're going to make these stars bankable, and they're going to win Oscars for us for the next like 20 years. Adeline Rudolph. That's who I would put on my roster if I was a Harvey Weinstein type in the 90s. I would just like hire her for Miramax, and I'd be like, keep her on the bench and just throw her in the game every year, and I guarantee you like 100 mil, 200 mil. The white guys with the Asian fetishes, they're going to come out to see the movies as long as we keep putting Adeline Rudolph in the movies, bro. So, Mortal Kombat 2. What else is there to say about it? I will say, yes, the action delivered. There was less stupid shit, like smarmy, action lines where they're like, who's this guy? And the guy's like, your worst enemy, pal. And the audience is like, ha ha ha, I'm familiar with that reference. But Mortal Kombat 2 only had a couple of moments like that. And here's how much I enjoyed Mortal Kombat 2, okay? Usually when a movie is dumb, I am a little guilty of being like the crowds, in which I'm like guilty of talking about how much I love a dumb movie because I want to look smart. I want to be like, I'm elitist. I went to Harvard. I don't like Mortal Kombat 2 because I went to Harvard and I am incapable of feeling joy. Oh, I can't go see the Michael Jackson movie because I went to Harvard and I write for the New York Times. He was suspected of doing something in 1994 and blah, 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 blah. Even me, who is I don't care about what the crowd say. I am sometimes guilty of being like, oh, I'm not going to talk about my love for this movie because I don't want to look like an idiot. No one is going to take me seriously if I talk about how I loved a superhero movie. But you know what? I enjoyed Mortal Kombat 2, okay? I'm going to say it. I liked Mortal Kombat 2. I mean, it was good. It delivered. It was everything I wanted Mortal Kombat 1 to be. And it was good. So what was I saying? Yes, less stupid shit, more action. Half Asian, half white actress, good-looking woman. And the other woman, the blonde woman, that's the brown guy's fetish. The white guys can go see the movie for Katana, and the brown guys with the blonde hair fetish, they can go see the movie for the I forget her name. Sonya Blade, something like that. Yeah, I mean it delivered, bro. It delivered. And the use of the techno song during the end credits. Now I will say this. I was kind of annoyed that the song, they didn't use it during the movie. They should have played the song during the movie, and there should have been a scene in which we were all riled up and we were like, we got out of our seats and we just started punching each other in the faces in the auditorium. I turned to the guy left to me, punched him in the face. I took his popcorn, dumped it on his head. I turned to the guy to the right of me, punched him in the face. There needed to be a moment where the song played during the movie. Instead, it played during the ending credits. Oh, the other thing I wanted to say too is, I'm just remembering this, because of the ending credits, the improvement from the second movie, what I really liked is that it felt like it had more cool visual shit in it. And by that I mean like cool colors, good graphics and stuff. We missed that in the first one. It was just bad CGI, but in the second one, I felt like it did more cool visual stuff, and I liked it. I like that aspect of it. I will say this too. The funny thing about Mortal Kombat 2 is not the movie, but the screening that I went to was absolutely cursed. Okay. So right as the let me just tell you my whole what happened. Okay. So I went to a theater that I don't normally go to in my life because of capitalism. I have 9 million different options. Okay. I can go see a movie at a theater that is right up the street from me. I can go see a movie. I can go see a movie a 10-minute drive or a 20-minute drive. And those are just 3 options. I'm not going to get into all the options I have. But so I purposely chose to go see Mortal Kombat 2 at a theater that was a little out of the way for me, okay? And the reason I did this is because this particular location had or has, I should say, recliner seats. The other options of movie theaters that I went or I could have chosen, they didn't have recliner seats. So I deliberately went out of my way to go to like the third furthest um movie theater that I could have potentially gone to, okay? Just for those recliner seats. I said to myself, "You know what? You got a day to yourself. Why not go and enjoy your life a bit more?" Now, huge mistake. What I didn't realize is that this theater had an exit sign that was like right near the screen. So during the dark moments of the movie, all you can see was like a bright green exit sign. And not just that, the screening was cursed because right as the movie started, some guy was on his phone. He was like in the back corner. You know the corner of the movie auditorium where people will choose to sit there so they can goon during the movie? That's the only describable reason why someone would choose to sit that far back at a movie theater is so they can jerk off during the movie and do God knows what. Heaven only knows. I'm not even going to get into it, but that's why people sit at the back. So the movie starts, and this guy's on his phone, and all you can hear is, yeah, yeah, no, yeah, so, yeah, yeah, yeah. No, it doesn't matter. I'm not doing anything important. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm in a movie, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, 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 yeah. And the row ahead of me is a guy and his kid, and the kid was like giggling and talking while this was happening. So the 3 different things are happening as I'm trying to enjoy this movie. The exit sign is bright as shit. The guy's on his phone, and this guy has brought his child to a Mortal Kombat 2 screening. Okay? Now, even with all of this chaos that was ensuing, I still enjoyed the movie. What ended up happening was the guy in the back row ended up shutting the hell up. But I will say he did take another phone call during the movie because we're living during a time of collapse and the world is falling apart where people think that they can do things like that. The kid sitting in front of me got up twice to take a pee because I think his father is neglectful and got him a large cup of soda pop. So this kid was just, and he was talking and giggling throughout the movie. The character Kano was for this kid's entertainment. So anyway, yeah, even with all this chaos happening, I still enjoyed the movie. It felt like we need more movies where it's like people are getting their asses kicked back to back to back to back. Like even the good guys in this movie got beat up. Everyone gets beat up in this movie. Everyone gets beat up. Like there was a scene in this movie where I was watching and I was like, in my head, I was thinking, by the end of this scene, everyone's just going to be on the floor. And sure enough, I was right. Just everyone, everyone, the good guys and the bad guys, in equal measure, they all just got beat up. And yeah, that was great. I had a good time. Mortal Kombat 2. I would recommend it. In fact, I think I'm going to go back. I think I'm going to go back to see Mortal Kombat 2 at a place that is not that cursed. Because, you know, the one thing I will say is the exit sign ruined the movie for me a little bit. Because during the dark scenes, you're watching the movie, it's supposed to have like a certain level of tension, right? It was so bad that I was almost tempted to go to the theater employees that are making 2 potatoes an hour and tell them, uh, is there any way I can complain about my screening of Mortal Kombat 2? I don't like the way you guys keep the exit sign on and blah blah blah. The reason for this, I know, I'm not an idiot. I know that they keep the exit sign on so that it's like a safety issue. Okay. The safety issue is that if there's a fire and it's like a smoky auditorium, you need to be able to see exit in a bright sign and know to yourself, I gotta go in that direction. But the thing is like, we live in 2026. First of all, how many times have there been fires that break out in a movie theater? Like, I've never had a fire break out at a movie theater, okay? Even with all the stupidity in the world with people like vaping and whatever, there's no I've never had a movie screening where I need an exit sign illuminating the whole auditorium. That's like they make such a big deal out of people on their phones, right? And then you have the equivalent or worse at the right beside the screen. It's just like completely contradicts the point of your message. Remove the exit sign. And the other thing I will say is it's 2026. Don't you have the technology to be like, just only turn it on when there's like a smoke detector type of situation? Why do you have to have that feature on the whole time? I don't get it. Anyway, that's it for that. I'm gonna stay for a couple more minutes. I will stay with you guys for the one drink. For the one drink, okay? Like I think I titled this, I'm gonna stay for the one drink. I'm almost done. I got one more thing I want to talk about, and then I'm gonna leave. Okay? And that is this. Stop complaining that you can't find a job and start fighting for UBI. Stop complaining that you cannot find a job and start fighting for UBI. Now I'm going to get into this, okay? Over and over, I keep seeing these videos on YouTube of information that I already know, things that I am well aware of, okay? I am well aware of the fact that nobody can find a job. Everyone is miserable. The boomers are the first generation to have it better than their parents and their children. Young people under a certain age, you'll never be able to find a job. There's no upward mobility. I am well aware of all of these things, okay? So, given that fact, right, the system is beyond broken. I don't think that you're going to fix this situation with voting. I don't think there's a single politician that is going to, like, you know, listen to. We're beyond listening, okay? So the idea that you're going to come on YouTube and complain, yeah, you know, I can't find a job. Every time I go on LinkedIn, it shows 700 applicants. I apply and I'm ghosted, this, that, and the other. Trust me, I get it. Okay? I'm your friend. I'm telling you all of this as your friend. There are no jobs. Even if you could find one, the wages are so low, all you'll be able to afford is one potato and a can of tuna. And you're going to have to stretch that out for for as long as the expiration date will allow you to. Just a tablespoon of tuna a day in Mark Carney's Canada. So, given this fact, right? We all know that the system is broken. What are you fighting for? That you can't find a job and whatever. We at this point, things are so bad and people are so desperate. If there's one job posting, right? And there's like people flooding to that job posting like it's the Hunger Games. Stop posting that you can't find a job and this, that, and the other, and start fighting for UBI. Because that's where we're at right now, is that people are so desperate. We're going to need money for groceries and just basic expenses and whatever. I don't even think the people complaining about how they can't find a job, they're not even talking about needing money for fun anymore, which is completely different. It would be different, right? If someone complaining that they can't find a job was just like, I don't even have disposable income to do anything, and I would really like to go to, go see a movie, go take my partner out for dinner, whatever. But that's not even it. I'm seeing people complaining that they can't find a job, and it's bad because that means that they won't be able to afford groceries for that month. If we're at the level where people are worried about, will I be able to eat this month? We're at the level where we need to start fighting for UBI, like as a society. And I hate when people when like anytime you bring up UBI, they always have to be like, oh well, we can't have UBI, we can't just print money and give people free money because it'll inflate the world and it'll cause inflation. Bro, who cares? Inflate that shit. I don't care. And the other argument people make is like, oh, it'll make people lazy and no one's gonna want to work anymore. There's no jobs for there's nothing. Even if even if someone wanted a job, there's no jobs. Do you know my dream job? Like my dream minimum wage job, if I had to do it, is to work at the movie theater because I love that environment. I've applied to work at a movie theater 90 million times in the course of my life. The furthest I've ever gotten is I had a job interview one time there. Never got the job. Now, I'm not lazy. I would love to work at a, part time, minimum wage Cineplex. I would love that, dude. But the fact of the matter is, there aren't enough jobs to go around, and we need UBI, bro. We just need UBI. Now, I understand some people are like, oh, we can't do UBI because, people will start spending it on fun stuff and instead of groceries. Okay, fine. Some people might do that, all right? But this is the rule. They're not going to get over a certain level. So if you spend your UBI that you get a month on fun shit, then you don't get any more. You're not allowed to complain or whatever about groceries, this, that, and the other. You get it, and that's it. But the people that truly need it, I'm seeing stuff on Reddit. People are complaining in Canada that they can't afford food, dude. if we're such a civilized, prosperous nation, and people are like going to food banks in Canada, that is a sign that something is not working very well here. And like I said, I don't think voting for the right person is going to fix any of this. I don't think you can vote your way out of this situation. What we need is we just need people to just take to the streets and fight for UBI. I mean, we're probably not going to get it, but that's just how I feel. I feel that we're well past the area of life where it's like getting on YouTube and talking about how you can't find a job. What do you think is going to happen? Do you think a politician is going to see this and be like, you know what? I should probably change. I should probably change the path that I'm headed on. I'm going to take a cut from my salary. You know that guy, John Tory, the mayor, former mayor, the disgraced mayor. He was making thousands, way more than necessary, okay? For, I don't know, I can't tell you what he did that was good for the city. All I know is that he had a sexual affair with a Scandinavian woman and he was disgraced. Now, do you think a politician like that, who can afford, who is taking your tax dollars, if you look up the receipts about what John Tory was doing, this guy was allegedly, I should say allegedly, in case John Tory happens to watch this. This guy was taking your tax dollars allegedly. I have to say that. And he was shoving Scandinavian women in Ubers, paying for Scandinavian women to get from one end of the city all the way to the other on your tax dollars and sending them to hotels and whipping it out and just having a marvelous time, okay? Making $250,000 a year. Now, do you think a politician that has that dog in him, that savage in him, do you think he is going to watch a YouTube video and say to himself, you know what? This teenager can't find a job. Why don't I change the error of my ways? That's not going to happen. A politician is never going to think about what is best for society. They're going to make it look like they care, but they're not going to do anything. So I think at this time, that's all we really need to do. People have gotten so desperate. Sometimes it feels like I'm living in an Adam Curtis documentary. I'm trying to think of there was a movie that he made, I believe it was called Trauma Zone. The one of the movies that he did, which was about Russia in, I think it was the 90s, I can't remember now. But things were so dark that there are scenes of this movie, of this documentary, that just kind of remind me of modern day Canada, where it's like, we're not that far off, bro. We're not that far off from, a little Russian girl in the streets begging for change at like the side of the road in traffic. The modern day Canadian equivalent to that is like, just like a homeless guy in traffic begging for change with like a cardboard with like Sharpie written on it. I've always wondered, how do homeless guys get Sharpies? How do homeless people with cardboard signs get Sharpies? And then you're at home and whenever you need a Sharpie, you never have one. How do homeless people always have a Sharpie? It's incredible to me. But anyway, that's probably where I'll end it. The modern day equivalent of Russia and the fall of Russia. The Canadian equivalent is homeless people begging for change at the side of the road, Canadians going to food banks. I just think we need some kind of We need some kind of legislature. We need some kind of UBI mandate to help people. Because look, you're not going to find a job, and even if you did, it's not going to help much. So I think that's where I'll leave it. I think I've been here for like an hour now. I said I would stay for the one drink. Shout out to the people that were in and out here. I think I'll make these lives a regular part of the my life. My life. I think I'll make the lives here a regular part of the YouTube channel. The videos, I find making the videos are fun, but the lives have this indescribable quality, this jeu de voir. There's just something, there's an added dimension to when something is live. And when you watch the repeat of a live, there's something just better than a video, because anyone can record a video and they can just be like, edit out the parts that make them look bad, cut here, cut there. All the bad stuff goes away in the edit, and they can make themselves look a certain way. Your Uncle Larry Singleton would never do that to you, okay? I'm going to keep everything in the live. Everything in the live, bro. It all happens in the live. And that way, whoever's interested can watch. And if you're not interested, go suck an egg, go take a hike, and that's how it's going to go. And I don't even think I'm going to clip any of the lives. I'm just going to do a live show, and if you watch, you watch. And if you're not into it, don't watch. So that's it, guys. I said I would stay for the one drink. I think what I'm going to do with my time right now is I am probably going to go see a movie, and maybe I'll talk about that during the next live. Thank you for tuning in, and this, it has been a real journey. I think I hit all of my talking points. I talked about cutting sugar. I talked about Mortal Kombat 1 and 2. I talked about UBI. I did it all here today. I finished my cup of tea. And I think it went well. If you don't think it went well, sorry about that. That's a great note to close on. I think that's a great place to end on. Unless anyone has... Does the class have any questions? Does anyone else have anything of value to say? I don't think anyone cares, so I'm just going to end it here. I hope everyone has a great day, life, weekend. Happy Mother's Day. I should just get that out there. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. All the mothers who gave us a sacrifice. They held us in their wombs for 9 months. They put aside their exhaustion and always had a smile on their face. Shout out to all the mothers out there. They always put themselves second. Shout out to all the mothers out there. They always had a treat for you. They always had a happy meal. They always had a positive, kind thing to say. Shout out to all the mothers out there. The mothers who always gave you their approval. When your father would say, no, don't do it, your mom would always say, no, go ahead. Shout out to all the mothers. Now, I will also say this. I didn't ask to be born. So, at the same time, I don't really owe you anything. And I also don't believe in capitalism, and I don't think there should be a day for every single person. And also, where is the Sun's Day? There's no Sun's Day. But still, that's neither here nor there. Happy Mother's Day. I don't want to get too cynical. You saw the beginning of the video. I said, don't let the nihilism of the world infect your worldview. I could easily sit here and say no one no one deserves a Mother's Day, but I'm not going to do it. You have to have a pure heart. So, happy Mother's Day. That's it.